We welcome you live to the season number 5 NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series race in Michigan. And it's time today from Michigan International Speedway for race number 15 of the Cup Series season. 4 races remain in this regular season. Tonight in Michigan, next week in Darlington, Watkins Glen in 2 weeks, then 3 weeks for the Daytona regular season finale. And of course, we start off tonight from the Irish Hills, and we are going to be hopefully having a good one today after an incredible Grand National race last night. One of the greatest Grand National races we might have ever had. We are so looking forward to this one today. Of course, like I said, race number 15 of the Cup Series season. Last week we were in Kentucky. Bryce Benton got a season best now between everybody. 5th win of the year. What a season it's been for the driver of the 9. Can anyone turn him down for another victory today, or could Bryce maybe find victory lane for a 6th time this season? By the way, he had no wins coming into this year in his career. So, I mean, that just goes to show what an incredible year Bryce Benton has had. Points leader Cameron Chandler is, of course, locked into the chase. Bryce is literally 1 point away from locking himself in, so he should be pretty good to do that tonight if all things go well and doesn't somehow go pointsless. But I don't really think that's possible. But, yeah, Bryce should have an okay night. To hopefully for him to lock himself into the chase. We're going to probably lock a couple other drivers into the chase as well after this. And this is going to be a very high-speed race. You could theoretically see speeds over 210 miles an hour, which is definitely the most all season. These cars also have a 10% added horsepower than usual. Of course, they're the Gen 4 cars, so they're just naturally quick anyways. So it is going to be wild tonight, I would have to imagine. All right. Our cars are about to be on the racetrack here in Michigan. Here we go. We are live in Michigan tonight. It is race 15 of Season 5 of the Cup Series season. It's the 5th all-time race here in Michigan. We'll go through some of your former winners of this racetrack in a minute. But welcome live to Michigan International Speedway for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series season number 5 race at this track. Here we go. Car is about to pull into the racetrack for our half-hour usual warm-up session. And, of course, coming up next after that is going to be 2 laps of qualifying. And first car on the racetrack is the 99. That is Payson Lindsay. Enters tonight minus 20 in the chase cut line. We'll be looking at that chase cut line in a minute. Needs a good day today. Was not the best of races at Kentucky. No, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think any stage points unfortunately for him, and not too many race points either to go along with it as he heads down the back straightaway to go under speed. Of course, cars absolutely going to be flying around here in Michigan tonight as that 99 heads through 3 and 4. And we'll be running down the front straightaway to come to green to start his practice lap. I do want to check speeds real quick. By themselves, Payson Lindsay has just hit 209 miles an hour on his warm-up lap. By himself. That is... wow. These things are going to be quick tonight. I can tell you already. Maybe, probably faster than 210 miles an hour in the draft. That is going to be insane. Here comes Landon Johnson in turn 1. All right, Eli Franklin, Landon Johnson are both going to be in the race. Both going to be our in-race reporters for tonight. Guys, it's going to be the highest speed racetrack of the season, of course, tonight in Michigan. Cars are going to be probably tough to handle as well around here. I mean, what can be the overall expectation of how this race could go?
It's going to be a crazy race tonight. The speed in this car is just insane at this track, and with a lot more speed comes a lot more tire wear, and we have seen it in test sessions at this track that tires are going to wear very quickly at this track, especially if you're going over 210 miles an hour, basically without the draft. So we'll see what it is with the draft. I assume it'll be around 215, could see 220, but that's pushing it a little bit. But I expect this car to just fly, but tires are going to fall quickly, so fresh tires will matter a lot. 25 sets, got to be careful.
Of course, they do get an extra set than they usually do, of course. With the added horsepower. All right, so we're just talking about points earlier. Let's actually take a look at your chase grid entering tonight. As here is Ashley Miller on the 79. Entering tonight here in Michigan. In fact, pull it up. There we go. So, of course, Cameron Chandler so far sits obviously locked into the chase. Bryce Benson is 1 point away from locking himself in. Sean Rose sits third in points. 2 wins in the year. Really good season for him. Braden Hunsaker sits fourth. Still looking for his first victory of the season, but he has won here at Michigan before back in Season 2. Your defending series champion. Would not want to make it a 15-race winless streak for the season, that's for sure. Matthew White currently sits fifth in points. Aiden Donnie, who's missed the last few races due to a monitor issue, actually. That's the call for him. His monitor is broken, unfortunately for Aiden. Hopefully he'll be back tonight. I'm not really sure, though. John Butler going to be 7th in points, plus 64. It's the Axel Smith, plus 43. And then you go, it's getting pretty tight here. Jacob Quayle only plus 26 to the good. Ashton Miller only plus 20. And then you see Payson Lindsay below the chase cut line, minus 20. Aiden Holmes, minus 27. You see Andrew Stacey, Trenton Wilkin, Connor Haverla, and Davian Tobin all below the cut line as well for tonight's race. Should certainly be an interesting one. All right, here's Miller to the inside of Max DiFilippi. DiFilippi going to get that runoff corner exit and clear. Ashton down the back straightaway. Here's the 48 of Dylan Banks. He's raced before the season in the Cup Series at Dover. Of course, your Season 3 Cup Series champion, now part-time, obviously retired from a lot of iRacing. But he's going to be back tonight in this 48 for Ethan Trendler Racing. iRacing's having lag issues now. Great. Here comes Braden Hunsaker on the 77 on track. Oh, he's in the wall. And he's going to spin down the back straightaway. And, big hit. As we see Sean Rowe now racing with Landon Johnson. You got the 66 Franklin again on the apron. Spinning around is Max Siffy. And Ashton Miller down at the inside as well.
If you want to, then you can go along with guys that are in the pack and see how fast guys are compared to guys that are in the pack, see how much quicker they are.
Yeah, I will do that in a second. So you got these guys are going to be heading down the front straightaway. Let's look with you, Eli. Hopefully Landon Johnson just doesn't try to destroy you here. So down the front straightaway, I'm looking at the speed. iRacing, oh my god. I couldn't tell because iRacing is being iRacing, and we're going to reload it now, fortunately. Give us a quick second. It took us a while to fix this issue last night. It is pretty remarkable that we're still having these issues after, yeah. All right, well, we'll try this again real quick. Hopefully we'll be back here in just a quick second. Alrighty.
I got 211.
2 in the draft, you said?
Yeah, in the draft.
All right, so we'll see. It could be even quicker for packs, too. Bigger packs, I mean. We'll have to just see throughout the practice session coming up. Well, of course, like we said, race number 15 of this Cup Series season in Michigan. I mean, if you didn't see the Grand National race last night, literally generational. I mean, I don't know if we've ever seen a race that good ever in iRacing history. It was actually that good. Not even joking. It was unbelievable what we saw last week. Oh my goodness, Ashton Miller goes for a tumble down the back straightaway. Also, the spinning car is 66 and Franklin goes around. Anyways, not even 10 minutes through this warm-up session. Bryce Benson is so far top of the order, your winner last week in Kentucky. John Rowe is second, Rich Jerry's is third. Lindsey Banks, your top 5.
Say, field win to be very interesting tonight. I think it's around 30. You could probably push to 35 if you save a little bit. But we will have like pit stops. But I don't know if the tires could last that long. I assume most guys could probably get to about 25 on tires. You got to remember, these extra horsepower, us hitting 210, it's going to wear these tires quickly.
All right. Anyways, Payson will come down to almost hit the wall. Okay, anyways, that's the 99 coming back onto the track. 31, Max if he gets loose. Here's the 94 of CJ Earthman. Not exactly sure where Matthew White is. Of course, Matthew White won back here in Season 1. Only win at this racetrack. Max Diffie there in the wall a little bit. Here goes Cole Clausen down at a 1. He had a great car in the Grand National race last night. Unfortunately, got taken out. Not taken out in a wreck, but got pretty decent damage in a crash. So, Eli, have you guys gotten any opportunity to do some actual racing to see if you can maybe pass in this car today?
You can definitely pass, especially I was rotating holes there for about half a lap, and at half a lap I could tell I ran the top and got a run off the exit. He went behind me. It took him half a straightaway to catch up to me with the draft. So and passing the bottom is definitely going to be there tonight. So I think we can get some racing like we did last night.
All right, just FYI, Aiden Donahue is here actually, so I think his mounted issues are fixed now. So good news for any Aiden Donahue fans out there. Any Matthew White fans, not exactly sure where he is right now. Average Matthew White. All right, here is the 43 of Donovan Hogan. Pretty interesting unsponsored paint scheme he's got on. As he heads down the front straightaway, Cameron Chandler hasn't been on track yet. Currently sits down in the pits.
We're going to have one of the bigger fields we had in the past couple of weeks. Last couple of weeks, people racing's been down, but this week we're back over 20. Maybe not as much as we are expecting, but definitely improvement in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah, I mean, that's to be said. I mean, we expected that tonight, to be honest. Ashton Miller heads down the front straightaway. There's Landon Johnson. There is Sean Hilkich there in the pits. Got Cheery in the 29 and others. Max Diffie in the 12. Here goes Bryce Benson down the front straightaway. What a season Bryce has had, like I mentioned earlier. Daytona 500 winner, Charlotte 600 winner, 5 wins, leads everybody, second in points. I mean, it can't really get much better for Bryce at this point. He has just been absolutely on fire this year. The luck has been on his side, unlike prior seasons where that kind of helped hurt his win chances, I mean. So we're still having pretty bad issues here with iRacing, so we're going to reload it yet again. Did this all last night, and unfortunately got to do it again. All right. Anyways, Landon Johnson, can you give us any track feedback so far?
I mean, it's kind of like last night. Car's pretty neutral. I mean, like, not really super tight, not really wrecking loose. I mean, it's just kind of neutral. Like, I haven't got to race around anybody yet, but, like, just trying to practice saving some tires. I mean, like, it's not, like, super, like, just kind of a neutral setup so far.
Alright, so we'll see how that goes. Hang on, just for a second. Oh, just had a pretty decent sized crash. Oh my god. Anyways, there's Zane Ramon on the 1. To the inside, you got it. Ashton Miller. Miller there on the pit road. There's the 29. That's Richard Cheery. And that 77 of Braden Hunsicker. Max Diffie track. Cameron Chandler on the racetrack for the first time today. Here in the 8 car. There's the 88 of Landon Johnson. And Tim is Bryce Benson. Cole Clausen on turn 4, and now down the front straightaway he will go. Oh man, slams great. Oh man, he goes for a tumble down. My goodness. So I don't. God, if I can actually do that, sorry. Just trying to check the speeds, top speeds for one of those cars in the draft right there. Unfortunately, I couldn't get it. That Butterfingers. Anyways, here's Ashton Miller down the front straightaway. Diffie all by himself. I don't, or that's not Diffie. That's sorry. Anyways, here we go down the front straightaway. And tracking Dylan Banks, by the way. I think he might have to lift, though, not to run into Sean Ray. Yeah, he did. So he took 208 miles an hour there for Dylan Banks as Miller goes around down the back straightaway and, ooh, big hit to the wall. Hogan actually fixed his paint scheme. Wonder Bread now in the car. Well, Clausen, it's about 208, 209. That's the highest I've seen, man. I think 211 was the highest we've seen so far from Eli. Here's Aiden Donahue. I think trading paints is still broken. Sorry, I keep having to fix things. Trying to get this all sorted out. All right. There's the 20 of Sean Rowan damage. Here's the 94 Birdman. Oh my God! Somebody just flew in the air. I don't know who that is because the cars are blank as Trading Paints reloads itself. 12 minutes to go in the warm-up. Still no Matthew White. I'm not really sure what's going on.
I just texted him. He said he's racing, so I guess he just, I don't know, maybe woke up. I have no clue.
What? What'd you say?
So I texted him, and he said he's racing, so I guess maybe he just woke up. I have no clue.
Oh, okay. I mean, this is going to be, I mean, if you look at it, pretty competitive fields. We are going to have, what? Every single Cup Series champion here? Yeah. So we're going to have Dylan Banks, Cole Clausen, the two not full-time Cup Series champions. Of course, Clausen full-time in the Grand National Series. Dylan running a select races for ETR this year in the Cup Series. And then, of course, your two champions, Matthew White and Braden Hunsinger, that are still full-time in Cup. So that's just to start off is pretty competitive. Should be hopefully fun tonight. So fuel window today is definitely going to be short on the halfway break. What was like 40 or so last night? I think we shortened it to 90% fuel capacity today, so it should be a little bit shorter. You're going to have to pit before halfway, especially if we go green early on. And okay, Braden Hunsinger having a bit of a... We're going to reload iRacing one more time, sorry. Trying to get it perfect for everybody. It's just not working. For some reason, we reloaded the session in the middle of the race last night, and it was probably the smoothest I've ever seen iRacing. And what are we doing? Come on. Always something. Okay, iRacing is just not cooperating. Now we can't get into the session. Not really sure what we're doing. Come on. Give us a second. Always something. Alright, so I don't know what we're doing now. So hopefully back on the track in a minute, if we actually want to work. Please. Okay, anyways. Qualifying will be coming up about 9 minutes or so. What are we doing? Dude, are you kidding me? Ugh, unbelievable. This is ridiculous. Now, unbelievable. Okay, iRacing is being horrible. I don't know what we're doing at this point. This is pathetic. Now we can't even get into this session. This is unbelievable. Sorry, I apologize. This is just ridiculous, as always. Always something. Are you guys having any issues?
No.
Of course, just me, as always. What a joke.
Seems like a monsoon phone.
Yep, iRacing. Always something.
They hate you.
It's ridiculous. Like, it really is. It's nothing with my PC. Nothing else has issues on my PC. It's always iRacing. Absolutely ridiculous. Now, it won't even load. Like, it literally is saying I'm not allowed to pull up. I just got to restart OBS. All right, we're going again. Hopefully, it's going to fix itself. How much is left in practice, by the way?
4.5.
Okay. All right, so I believe we might be up and running here yet again. I'm not really sure. Do have good news. We went into this session, so we are, I think, good to go, hopefully. Trying to get things reloaded here. Give us a minute. Big scare there. I don't know what we were doing. That didn't make any sense. Trading paints is broken. There we go. That's fixed. Okay. So there are about 4 to 3 minutes left in this warm-up session. Not exactly 100% sure. But we're going to be sure in a second here. Didn't miss anything. I mean, unless we did miss something. Did we miss anything, guys? Assuming not.
I think there's a big one on the front straightaway. That's about it.
I mean, that's practice, so it's not really, you know, it doesn't really count.
The only thing we missed, Matthew White's finally joined, and Jake Marino. So now we have a 25 car field now.
Pretty good considering what we've had the last couple of weeks.
Brayton Piper, after a long break, is returned.
Here's Aiden Donahue as well. This is going to be a competitive field tonight. That's for sure. I mean, look at guys like you got Bryce Benson in the field, Sean Rowe, Payson Lindsay, Rich Cherry, Cameron Chandler. Oh my God, Sean Rowe flipping. Dylan Banks, Braden Unsicker, Ashton Miller, hometown driver Matthew White, Trenton Wilkin, Aiden Donahue. I could all see those guys possibly going to victory lane tonight, just on their usual pure speed. I mean, this is going to be a battle for the win today, obviously. 100 laps tonight, 200 miles, halfway break at the end of lap 50. What are we doing now, iRacing? Okay. So I apologize for the frame drop. That should hopefully eventually fix itself like it did last night. Apparently reloading the race midway through for some reason fixes the issue. This is just, it's getting really old though with this stuff. But hopefully we have a smooth running race today. That's all we can hope for. Okay.
Oh my, Sean Rowe.
Yeah, Sean Rowe's had a couple of wild rides so far this session. Oh, he's upside down again. All right, so guys, has maybe the track changed or anything in this session?
I really haven't felt too much. I haven't been on track recently, so that's a lane question there.
No, not really. It's about the same as probably. It's about I think the track slowed down a little bit, but it's still about the same.
All right, but a minute left to go in this warm-up, though. Bryce Benson to the top of the board. I don't think, yeah, we haven't seen anyone improve. So top 10 so far, Bryce Benson, Sean Rowe, Payson Lindsay, Rich Cherry, Cameron Chandler, Dylan Banks, Braden Hunsinger, Max DeFelipe, Cole Clausen, and Ashton Miller. And well, we have every winner here at Michigan besides one, which was Jacob Malone last season. We have Aiden Donahue, Matthew White, and Braden Hunsicker on the field. Oh. Braden, my God. All right, so just about to wrap up the warm-up session here. A couple of drivers not making any laps in practice. Brown Butler, Matthew White, two notable ones. So you definitely don't want to go into this, I guess I can say raw. No practice, nothing like that into qualifying. It's going to be interesting. And a lot of drivers do practice, obviously, before the race, but still. All right, practice is over. It's time to qualify in Michigan. Here we go. Okay. Cole Clausen just gets ran in from behind. So, Eli, I'm going to ask you this question because you got it right last night. Cameron Chandler got it wrong. You think this is going to be a one-lap qualifying, or maybe lap 2 would be your best?
I expect it to be what it was. I think this one, it can be lap 1 because I think the tires are not like last night where you had the warm up. I think you can give it 1 lap, but I still think personally 2 laps is the fastest.
All right, we will see how it goes tonight. Qualifying underway for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series in Michigan. Here we go for race 15 of the season. Cars rolling on track from the Irish Hills. Let's get this one underway today. First of all, we're going to decide a pole winner. And down the back straightaway goes Donovan Hogan to the 43. There's the 79 of Ashton Miller. That's 71 car of Cole Clausen. The 95, that is actually Jacob Clarino. Here's the 31. Max DeFelipe gets into the wall. Here comes the 29 of Cheery down the front straightaway. That's 82 there of Aiden Donahue. And the 42 of Aiden Holes. Ethan McMillan, he had a good race going until he crashed late in the Grand National race here last night. So of course, just still some warm-up laps here coming up. There goes Cole Clausen, the 71, the 1 of Zane Herman, the 77 there of Braden Hunsicker, winner here back in Season 2. Here comes Sean Hillquich. And Aiden Donahue down the front stretch in the 82 car. McMillan goes top of the board. Aiden Donahue now goes fastest. Your winner back here in Season 3. Aiden Holes currently second. Ooh, Aiden Donahue, that is, had a bit of a moment, and around goes McMillan down the back straightaway on his lap. Here goes Cameron Chandler. Points leader down the back straightaway in the 3 and 4. There's the 40 of Brandon Piper, the 71 there of Cole Clausen. Ashton Miller, your hometown driver, coming to the line here. And Miller's got a win at this racetrack, but it happened in Grand National back in Season 2. Miller is 5th, and he backs it down. P5 in qualifying for Zane Ron. How about Zane Ron? P3 so far, but a lot of heavy hitters to go with Aiden Donahue so far top. Only 8 cars.
Cherry to the top of the board.
Yep, there is Cherry now.
Lindsay to the top.
Wow. Here goes Jacob Clarino, full-time Grand National driver, making a start tonight in the Cup Series. Here's the 9 of Bryce Benson, 5-time winner this year, currently sits second in the standings. Lindsay goes down the back straightaway. Cherry, of course, backs it down. Lindsay's still on lap 2 here. Here goes Cameron Chandler. Coming to the line. There's Sean Hillquist, the 94. There's the 20 of Sean Rowe. The 9 of Bryce Benson. Still haven't seen Matthew White on the racetrack at all for practice or qualifying. Donovan Hogan goes across the line. Chandler P3 on lap 1. We'll see if lap 2 brings any improvements here. Down the back straightaway goes that 8 car.
As you say, Matthew White's now on track.
All right. Good news for him. There he is in the 7 car. That's an interesting paint scheme. No practice or anything. Going to go straight into qualifying here. Here goes Sean Rowe. Down the backstretch he goes. Was 5th on lap 1. Chandler was
gets
second.
second on lap 2.
Oh, we have a flipper. That's Zane Rahman. Minute and 11 seconds to go. Here comes Matthew White. Might only have time for 1 lap, I think. Bryce Benson coming to the line here on his final lap in qualifying. Was 4th in lap 1. Lap 2 is going to be top of the board for Brenton. He's on provisional pole. Just like that. And this could not have started off any better for Bryce. Can anyone knock him off pole? There's Erdman still making a lap time. Same thing with the 7 of Matthew White. I think those are the only 2. We're currently on track. Here goes the 7. Matthew White slides off turn 4 down the front stretch. He goes. And to the checkered flag, White across the line. Going to be on his only lap here in qualifying.
P4's pretty good for no practice.
Yeah, that is really good. He was great last night in the Grand National race. And there is the 94 of Erdman. Loves this racetrack. Erdman is going to be 17th. Well, that'll do it in qualifying. Bryce Benson on pole here. What a lap by him. It's a Team Chevy Motor Club 1, 2, 3 at the top of the order with Benton, Lindsay, and Chandler. And here we go in Michigan. It's a beautiful day for some racing. And this is going to be a high-speed track, a high-speed race. What could possibly happen tonight? And we welcome you live to the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series Season 5 race in Michigan. Let's go through your starting grid. So on pole is going to be the 9 of Bryce Benson, your winner last week in Kentucky. Starting outside, Payson Lindsay, who needs points today, currently enters -20. You got Cameron Chandler starting 3rd. Matthew White will start 4th. Rich Terry, 2-time winner this season, starts 5th alongside another 2-time winner this year, Sean Rowe, starting in 6th. Aiden Donahue is going to be starting 7th, still looking for his first win of the year, but won this race back in Season 3. Braden Hunsicker, also your defending series champion, also another one, still looking for that first win of the season. But, of course, he won back here in Season 2. Aiden Hole's good starting spot. He enters, I believe, what was it, 12th in the points, I believe. P9 for him, and Zane Rahman rounds out your top 10. Good starting spot for Zane. The rest of the top 20, the rest of the field eventually after that, is on the left side of your screen. All right, guys, well, it's Michigan. High-speed racetrack. These cars are going to be absolutely flying around this race today. What do we expect? Do we expect maybe an early green flag run like we saw in Grand National, or maybe an early caution? Who knows?
It's going to be very interesting tonight. I hope for green flag running, but usually, I don't know. I feel like early on might get yellow. Just, I don't know. It's different in a big pack. Most of the practice you watch is mostly single, maybe 2 or 3 cars. You can have 8 cars around you. The draft's a little different. I think it's being a little more difficult for these guys. Maybe out of turn 2, someone's going to get too tight and hit the wall. I don't know, but we'll see. I hopefully go green most of this. I like to see green flag pit stops tonight. It's going to be very interesting of how much this tire wear is going to be tonight. But overall, I hope this mostly green flag, but in my opinion, I think maybe get a couple yellows.
We will see how it all plays out tonight. Should hopefully be fun. All right. Just about ready to go here. Car is now going to roll off the grid. Hang on, we got to fix something. Okay. As cars roll off the grid, we got Jacob Quayle actually starting in the pit lane. Not exactly sure what happened to him. I don't know if Trent Wilkin got to the grid either. Yeah, Wilkin didn't get to the grid, neither did Quayle. Quayle's in the pits, not really sure where Wilkin is. There's Quayle, like I said. All right, well, cars rolling here under the pace lap in Michigan. So again, not really sure what happened to Trenton Wilkin. Jake Quayle, also another one, but you got to start in the pit lane if you miss the start, like, unfortunately for him. These cars roll down this back straightaway, ready for this race. Again, 100 laps, 200 miles, halfway break at the end of lap 50. Stage points also awarded the halfway break. Bryce Benson gets another bonus point for the pole. That actually might lock him nearly into the chase after this. He literally needed 1 point. 1 more point last week in Kentucky, he would have been locked in. as cars will come down to pit road. Check the road speed and check their pit boxes as well. So there's Jacob Quayle still in the pits. And there's Bryce Benson leading the field now. Of course, we should get the usual iRacing frame drop issues sorted out, hopefully. These cars will pull in the racetrack. Payson Lindsay's eager to go here, as you can tell. My goodness. All right, well, here we go in Michigan. It is race 15 of the Cup Series season. Just 4 races remain, and we come to the highest speed track, I should say, in the season in Michigan. Going to see speeds well over 210 miles an hour, the added horsepower.
And one other thing we can see tonight, if we do get to a fuel mileage race, how fast these cars are going, you can save a lot of fuel to enter these corners. There's a lot of off-throttle time in these corners. You can definitely save a lot. Just put Wilkins now on the grid. So all the cars are on the grid.
Are all the cars? Oh yeah, there's Wilkin, there's Quayle. So we'll have all 26, but they got to start in the pit lane. Teammates in the front row, the Team Chevy Motor Club 1-2-3. They currently lead the team standings. What a season they've had. Looking for another victory today. Bryce Benson looking for, and it's such an impressive win, number 6 of the year. What a season Bryce has had, starting from pole here as the pace car comes down to pit road. Teammates in the front row going to lead us to the green. 4 races remain in this regular season. To the restart zone they go, and we are underway from the Irish Hills of Michigan. Let's go! Oh, God.
Oh, already wrecking.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Are you kidding me? What a joke. What a joke. How do they wreck already? Unbelievable. I actually don't get that. That is just remarkable. That's pretty embarrassing, to be honest. Well, let's take a look at what happens. What a joke. They did it again. For some reason, whenever we have a field over 25 cars, this happens. But what happened this time? See Zanderman, watch him on the outside. He just gets barely tapped and hit the wall. And for some reason, with this race car, as you can see, they just pile it up. Unbelievable. Exactly the way we did not need this race to start. Let's ride along with McMillan. Yeah, the issue is with this Gen 4 car. Oh, McMillan he got turned in the wall there. That's unfortunate. The big issue with this Gen 4 car, I don't understand, but like the slightest contact turns somebody around. It doesn't make any sense. That's got to be addressed. Here's Jacob Quayle. Now, Quayle and Wilkin both got saved by this caution, by the way. So we went, what, 30-something laps? I think we went like 40 laps last night, green.
It was like 37, 38.
And immediately a caution before the green flag even comes out. I'm not saying it was his fault this time, because it wasn't, but Brandon Pfeiffer, for some reason, whenever he's in the field, we have one of those starts. I don't know why.
Pfeiffer said he did shift again, or wait, shift again.
Well, he had nothing to do with that.
Actually, that's what he said, though.
Well, yeah, it had nothing to do with that crash, though. Jacob Quayle is currently being scored a lap down, but he should be able to pass the pace car and get his lap back there. Well, that was a hell of a way to start the race, unfortunately. We've avoided that for months now. I don't know why that came back like that.
Black clear.
Anyways, under the caution flag for the first time today. Took 40 laps in Grand National, takes 0 laps in Cup. For comparison, the Cup Series has actually been the cleaner series the last, like 6 or so races. See, Max DiFilippi, he's got damage on his 31 car. Zanderman got turned to the wall pretty decently. Ethan McMillan, just not what you need to start a race at all. Just worst case situation. Of course, Shoes Cone going to be down the front straightaway. iRacing is being remarkably slow. God, man. there are your cars on pit road. We should be coming to choose this time by. Bryce Benson still, of course, is your leader. Lindsay is still second. Here's Quail to get his lap back. Lindsay goes inside, outside. I'm sorry, outside for Lindsay. There we go. Choosing behind him. Miller started all the way back in 15th. Luckily for him, escaped any damage there as everyone here rolls off pit road. All cars still running. Miller, of course, like I said, escaped any sort of damage, luckily for him.
Black clear. Oh, okay.
No black clear for you. Nice try.
Yeah, that's great. I'm trying to get just a little bit. I try to just feel just an extra lap to see if I have the passing pace bump. I don't want to get stopped and stuck on pit road.
It'll get cleared anyways.
I'm saying if you get on pit road though, once you get on, it'll serve the penalty unless you can't clear it once you stop.
So since we're riding around right now, Ethan, I know we haven't ran a green flag, but pit stops will be around lap 32.
Okay.
30 to 34.
All right, thank you for the update. That should be your fuel window for tonight. Well short of the halfway break, like we expected. All right, let's try this again. That first start never happened. Let's just get this done now. The actual start of the race. All right, well, here we go. It's going to be Bryce Benson, Pace and Lindsay underway. You got two Monster Energy cars there on the second row with Cameron Chandler and Matthew White. Here we go. Now we're racing in Michigan. Let's go. Good as restart. Amazing restart by the 9 of Bryce Benson, already gone side by side for second between Cameron Chandler and Pace and Lindsay. There's Matthew White to the quarter panel of Lindsay as they head down the back straightaway. Opening time under green. Benson got a good lead already. Cameron there holding on to the spot with Lindsay. You see Matthew White looking inside as well. White on the bottom side. That interesting paint scheme for him this week. Ooh, Ashton Miller nearly to the door of Sean Rowe. Would have been teammate of Ashton Standard DTR. Heading down the front straightaway for the opening time under green. See Cherry staying in line, almost pushing Ashton Miller down the front straightaway. What a lead Bryce Benson has already eked out on his teammate Cameron Chandler. Oh, Lindsay slides. Big moment for him as Matthew White drops to his inside. Battle here for third. See Sean Rowe in the 20 also.
And he was out, big wreck on the back.
Oh, are you kidding me? What? Where?
Maybe, I don't know about big. Someone spun out back here.
One car. Around goes Max DiFilippi. So let's take a look. So he just loses it by himself. And hits McMillan to the wall. Unfortunate for Maxwell. That's already the second call for the day. And now we are gonna real quick, hope for the best and reload iRacing. So we don't have to deal with the lag issues anymore because it's getting pretty tiring. All right. So I don't know if this is the solution or not, but last night when we reloaded the session after the green flag, it worked and everything. It was actually the smoothest I've ever seen my iRacing run. I don't know why, but yeah. So we're under caution right now, nothing are missing. Already the second nail of the day. So I'm assuming nobody's coming up here, guys. At least for the leaders,
we're going into turn 3.
We'll see here for the leaders. I'm assuming no. Not really a reason to. It's not like you're going to be able to pit here and make it to the end of the stage. Alrighty. Okay, well, we're back live here in Michigan. Oh, and it's smooth. What did I say? Wow, okay. Nice. Apparently that's the solution. I think we finally found a solution.
The whole back of the pack's
yeah. Andrew Stacy's your first car out of the race. He just retired. All right, so we're back here. Everything should be smooth at the end. Sorry about those little issues we had earlier. Should be all good for this race now. cars here pitting. You do want to repair some damage after that big stack up on that initial start of the race. So hopefully now we can get some good running in after they got their pre-race issues out of the way there. Bryce Benton still leads. Cameron Chandler is second. Matthew White is third on lap 8 here in Michigan under caution. Oh, and by the way, Matthew White's paint scheme updated. Just now, it was something completely different. Now it is a yellow Monster Energy car. I don't know why, because a gold Monster Energy car. I'm sorry. I don't know why, because I updated trading paints after he joined. So, like during qualifying. So I'm not really sure how this happens. But okay, there's Matthew White's actual paint scheme for the race. See the rest of the field here. Still, of course, those cars sitting in the pits. Got to repair as much as you can. This caution helps some of these guys. Coming to shoes this time by here in Michigan. See Bryce Benton. He is going to go to the low side. Cameron Chandler, teammate, chooses outside. Matthew White will go low. Outside for Lindsay. Teammates there, Hayden Donahue and Ashton Miller. That was close back there. All right. Everyone besides Andrew Stacy still running on the lead lap. Okay, so we're going to restart on lap 10 here from the Irish Hills, Michigan International Speedway. So guys, has this race kind of met your expectations so far with 2 early yellows like that, unlike what we saw last night?
I mean, kind of. Usually what we see, and I don't know how it's a Cup Series thing, we get 1 to 2, possibly 3 early yellows, we get 1 green flag. Now if we get another yellow too, I'll be surprised. So I think we're probably going to have a long green flag run here.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting this too, especially how clean Grand National was last night at the beginning, like the first half.
All right, well, pace car is in. Once again, we're going to restart, like I said, on the 10th lap of this race. Here we go. Coming to the Geico. Well, that's not actually anything restart zone. It's completely unsponsored. But back to green in Michigan. Bryce Benton and others. Bryce gets another good restart like he did earlier. Cameron Chandler there is an outside. He gets clear. Matthew White slots in the third. Here we go. Sean Rowe to the inside of Pace and Lindsay as they go side by side back into 1 and 2. Oh, Lindsay way up the racetrack. Nearly hits Aiden Donahue. Almost 3 wide. You're coming off corner exit down the back straightaway. Car's flying at over 200 miles an hour. Lindsay on the outside now, pushes up to Donahue's bumper. He gets tight though, washes up the racetrack. Here's Ashton Miller now 3 wide middle. The 77 there, Brayden Hunsinger as well as they head down the front stretch. Brayden falls back in the line, almost gets contact by that 29 at Cherry. Beautiful sound of these race cars. You see Sean Rowe sideways to the bumper of his actually former teammate in the Grand National Series many seasons ago, Aiden Donahue. Both used to race for the now defunct Legacy Sim Club. Battle here for 6th between Ashton Miller and Brayden Hunsinger, 2 winners of this racetrack in the league. Brayden, of course, won the Cup race back in Season 2, and then, of course, in Season 2 as well, Ashton Miller won the Grand National race. Single file for the top 8, at least. Here's Jacob Clarina. What a start he's had. He's looking to get inside of the top 10. He is inside of the top 10 in that 95 machine. Trenton Wilkin also driving from the back. Oh, and the wall just cleared. Oh, my goodness. And that takes out Pace and Lindsay. And run to caution again. And Pace and Lindsay has big damage on his 99. Already the 3rd caution of the day. Man, this has been a chaotic start, to say the least. God. What has happened? We'll see what happened with Jacob Clarino, who just lost it on his own, it looks like, from that angle. Yeah, he gets loose and then hits the wall, and then, yeah, he sounded pretty frustrated in the chat, unfortunately, and that's going to give damage to Payson. Only on lap 13, we already have our third yellow of the night, which is not the theme lately in these cup races. This is interesting. Riding with Payson. Yeah, he's just in the wall. Couldn't save it. I mean, he's obviously, Jacob is not a cup regular, so isn't used to driving these cars. Just big mistake. Can't have that happen. Unfortunately, and it takes out a Cup Series regular to go along with it. Riding from the blimp. You see Jacob, he just washes up the race. You see loose out of turn 2, and then just barely taps the wall and just can't hang on to it. Payson actually got some aries, as you saw. But we're under caution again. My goodness. Damage to the 99 car, as you can see.
That's really going to affect his points. He has been slowly gaining. He was 50 back, 30 back. Now he's 20 back. Last car below the cut line. Now this does not help him at all.
Yeah, that's for sure. All right, well, it'd be nice if we can get some running in here for green flag action like we did last night. Who's going to pit? Cheery's coming. How about that? Jake Clear to the damaged car pits as well. Dylan Banks in the 48. So we have seen monster green flag runs lately in the Cup Series. This is not a race that has had that so far. I mean, we're close to matching our cautions from last week in Kentucky and then at Homestead as well, the week prior. So I think it's just topping up on fuel here for some of these guys. Eli, I'm assuming you still wouldn't be able to make it to the end with this pit stop for some of these drivers.
Yeah, I really doubt you can make it. The only thing really does pit stop next time. I assume most guys probably 6 to 8 laps short, and that's hard to say.
Yeah, I think so. You'll probably still be about 4 to 6 laps short. Because if you're putting 30 in your tank, that'll put you at 40. That'll put you at 44.
Okay, so, of course, you're still going to have to see a pit stop under green. If this is the last caution before the stage, obviously the leaders would all pit, and then you should see everybody else come to pit road. Coming to the choose again. Bryce Benton, albeit a lot of them have been under yellow, has led every lap so far on lap 14. Be nice if we could get a green flag run in here. Benton inside, outside for Chandler, White, Donahue, because this car could be a very good, could be very racy tonight. I've already seen in this race so far. So.
And Payson Lindsay has left for tonight, so his points he has gained over the past couple of weeks is just they got demolished in one night.
And that is we're now coming to Darlington after this week. We head to Watkins Glen, a road course. I mean, Payson is okay at Darlington. I don't think it's the greatest road course. Daytona, he's won the regular season finale, but that is Daytona. And Payson Lindsay. This is going to be the second season in a row. If he doesn't make up these points, he's going to be missed the playoffs last season. This season, probably might miss the chase. And it all kind of stemmed from that big penalty he got after Charlotte. And also another suspension in the season. Just mistakes you cannot make. Unfortunately, as a veteran, Payson Lindsay has continued to make them. All right, we're going to restart in lap 16. We're going to hope for some sort of a green flag run. So I'm assuming, guys, these cars are harder to drive than last night, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah, way more.
Yeah, it feels weird. Like, entry at the corner, it can be tight, but the exit here, especially behind guys, you can get very loose.
I've already seen that off turn 2, especially, these cars getting sideways. All right, well, let's try this again. Pace car is back in. So lead the field back to the green flag again is Bryce Benton and Cameron Chandler. Two maybe the best drivers all season. Here we go, green flag. Once again, and not the best of restart. Actually, he gets away pretty decently after I say that. Bryce Benson clears Cameron Chandler, and here comes Matthew White for second on the 8. Side by side, and he's almost going for the lead. Looking to the inside on Benson for a second, has to back out of it. They're 3 wide for a fourth. Benson almost gets swallowed up. Yeah, it actually wasn't the greatest momentum boost for Benson other than compared to last restarts. 3 wide further back as they head down the back straightaway. And White has got there. Here he comes, side by side with the 9. Matthew White to the inside on Bryce Benson. Drives to the inside, slides up the racetrack, pulls almost a slide jump, and takes the lead. How about that for Matthew White? 3 wide further back. Look at Aiden Donahue for the bottom. Looking to get second away. What a run down the front straightaway. Heading back into 1 and 2. See Matthew White in the 7, Aiden Donahue in the 82. He clears the P2. Donahue now closing the bumper of that 7 car, Matthew White. Oh, they're all going to have a run. Where's Bryce Benson going to go? Stays in line for now. Benson again looking to the door. That 682 car of Donahue going to be side by side for second down the front stretch. Donahue gets clear on Benson again. Now he's going to have to try to challenge Matthew White. Stays in line through 1 and 2. See Braden Hunsicker running in 4th back there with Cameron Chandler and others. Looking like old times up here. Aiden Donahue and Matthew White just unbelievably good in the next-gen car the last 4 seasons. At least 4 for Matthew White.
Oh, someone's getting turned in the back, but he saves it. And they call a yellow. You gotta be kidding.
Are you serious? Oh, he slides up the racetrack. That is a ridiculous yellow, though.
Oh, somebody just hit the pit barrels.
What? What is Sean Rowe doing? Unbelievable. What? What just happened? What on earth? What is he doing? That is just terrible. I don't know what that was. Unbelievable. You cannot do that in the Cup Series. That's ridiculous. That's completely ridiculous. So, let's just say post-race conversations will be had. Well, that was horrible. Now Sean Rowe's out of the race, just like that. Only on lap 19. This is just, man. Matthew White now leads Aiden Donahue a second. And Rowe is just, that car obviously is killed. There's no way that's going to continue. Sean Rowe is done for the day. Unbelievable.
And everybody's going to pit.
So I don't know. Aiden Holes stays out. Okay. There's Sean Rowe again. But I don't know if, I don't know what. I don't know if they're going to make it to the end here on fuel if they pit. For the stage, that is, I mean. Off pit road first goes Matthew White. That was, I think, only 2 tires, if I'm not mistaken. Dylan Banks is going to be off second. Third will be Cheery. Fourth at 94, Erdman. Fifth, Aiden Donahue. Cameron Chandler and Bryce Benson both lose spots. I think they took 4 tires. I think it was only maybe 2 for that 7 car. Now we're on lap 20 now, and we're under caution again. So guys, I'm assuming, is it going to be close to be able to make it here?
So, got 31 laps of gas. It'll be almost right on the money.
All right. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's gonna be really close. I think everybody can make it, but they also got to say you got to have enough to get back to pit road.
This is a start we just did not expect to see. So unfortunate. So Sean Hilquich also stayed out, by the way. So it's going to be Aiden Holes and Sean Hilquich to lead us here back to the green. So again, guys, this has been a wild race so far. I don't think any of us expected this.
No.
No,
This is
no,
this is
definitely
like
did
some.
not.
This is like a season 1, season 2, like kind of started of the race.
Yeah, this has been. I don't even know what the word is. Is there a full moon out?
In the middle of the day, it might be.
I mean,
We got a full sun.
yeah, the full sun. Actually, the full sun is out. Well, Aiden Holes in the front row with Sean Hilquich.
Yeah,
Here
watch
for the
tires
restart.
sticking.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Got to be careful on the front row. Holes did this last week in Kentucky. Did a pretty good job. We'll see what Hilquich can do. All right, well, who knows what kind of green flag run we're going to have now. Kind of mixed strategies up front all of a sudden. Here we go, back to green yet again in Michigan. That was a good start by that 42 car. Not wheel spin at all, at least for the most part, for that 30 of Sean Hilquich as they come back to green. That's a great restart ahead at Aiden. There goes Matthew White to clear that 30 car. Wide view through 1 and 2. 79 there, back in the middle of the 30 of Sean Hilquich. Hilquich gets in line. That's pretty dangerous to do as they head down the back straightaway again. Aiden Donahue all out of line. Hilquich, of course, going to be falling back on those old tires. See him up on the outside, also just not too much speed in that car either. Side by side, Cheery looking outside almost on Matthew White. They all try to jostle for position down the front straightaway. Oh, Cameron Chandler near the bumper. Almost turned around, I'm sorry. Aiden Donahue. That was close. Here goes Cheery around the outside on Matthew White for second. That 29 has good speed on these bigger racetracks, and he is now clear. Of course, 1 in Pocono. Filling in for Matthew White. White will go to the bottom for 3 and 4. What a lead, though, for Aiden Holes. This is impressive. Oh, look at Aiden Donahue slides the door of Bryce Benson side by side, and now he's going to be back in line of 3 wide further back. John Butler on the bottom. There's 2 ETR cars, Wilkin and Banks. Their other teammate, Sean Rowe, had that big issue with the pit barrels. Not really sure what that was all about. I'll get confirmation in a minute once he answers me. There's that 7 car. Matthew White clears Bryce Benson for 3rd. But still a great lead out of 42 of Aiden Holes. That is pretty impressive. Here goes White now looking to the inside on Cherry. Cameron Chandler to the bumper of that 82 of Donahue. Get the 9 of Bryce Benson as well. Cameron going to be looking at the bottom yet again. Going back into 1 and 2. East to the quarter panel of that 82 of Aiden Donahue. Aiden gets tight. 3 wide middle just for a quick second. Going to try to get to the quarter panel again on Bryce Benson as they battle for P4. Aiden's had a decent start to his race. Cherry now second. Going to try to run down your leader, Aiden Holes. Holes, unlike Hilquich, has obviously kept the lead. Hilquich has fallen back to 9th. .25 laps complete so far in Michigan tonight. And here comes Donahue. Got to run. Where's he going to take it? Goes to the inside to the door of Bryce Benson. Oh, but he gets loose in the bottom. It is tough to make a pass on the bottom of the racetrack and keep momentum up. Now Cameron Chandler drops to the inside of Donahue. Just like that. And they almost make contact. They lean on each other for 3 and 4. Cameron's got to jump out of the gas. So does Aiden. And here comes Braden Hunsicker to the bottom. Ashton Miller into the battle. All three of them get loose. Cameron now goes to the inside of Donahue. Side by side, battle for fifth. Cameron Chandler on the bottom gets clear. Donahue still is fighting that race car. He's got his teammate Ashton Miller and that 77 Huntsicker both going to clear him. At least Huntsicker does. Now Miller battling for 7th place with his teammate. Up front, Cherry is starting to cut into that gap on Aiden Holes. Matthew White is starting to also get pressurized by Bryce Benson for 3rd place. Aiden Holes still about 0.3 of a second lead out front. Huntsicker up the racetrack in front of that 8-car. Cameron Chandler gets pretty loose. They run down this backstretch. Cameron Chandler on the line. Donahue going to clear him. You just got to pick and choose what kind of run you're able to take into these corners. Draft, obviously, a huge part here in Michigan, like we saw last night in Grand National, already seen today in the Cup Series. Cameron Chandler once again to the inside of Aiden Donahue. Has to back out of the gas, though. He gets tight. By the way, Bryce Benton has passed Matthew White for 3rd. Guys, the Jacob Quill retired.
Yeah, he retired. Yeah, you also got to wonder, those two guys that stay out, can they make it to, how close? I think we're about 3 laps to the good, kind of just getting the lap 50. I wonder if those two that stayed out have to pit or not.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I mean, Aiden Holes, you'd have to imagine he can't make it. Matthew White took only 2 tires. Same thing with Dylan Banks, I believe, but Dylan has fallen way back to 12th. White still runs 4th. Here comes Cameron Chandler looking inside on Ashton Miller. Cameron back to 8th. Not the greatest of restarts for him. Come back here to see side by side between Cole Clausen and Brandon Pfeiffer. I mean, I know it's not Daytona or Talladega, but even a track like Michigan allows drivers you usually don't see up front able to take good runs out of it. While Max DiFilippi is just losing his race car. My goodness.
Wilkins is flying down pit road.
Oh, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Oh my! What? Just crashed on pit road. What are we? ETR. I don't know what that was. He got loose and wrecked down to pit road, and no caution, obviously, because he's in the pits. I don't know what's going on with Ethan Trendler Racing. That is now 2 cars crashed in the pits. Here we go, Aiden Donahue battling with his teammate Ashton Miller. Donahue slides. Miller gets loose. Oh, but he's completely sideways, saves the race car. Thank goodness, and gets P6. But Donahue's got to run. He's going to retake that position. There to the inside he goes yet again. Cameron Chandler almost looks to go middle, and the battle of the lead is just heated up. Here comes Richard Cherry and Bryce Benton on Aiden Holes. Holes is doing a fantastic job still keeping up front, but he can't last that long. As here is Cherry to his bottom. To the inside, you see Holes loose on the outside lane. Cherry clears him, so does Benton. Now Cherry gets loose. Here comes Bryce. That pulse hitter is there yet again. Benton to the inside of Cherry for the lead. Side by side, here comes Matthew White, and Benton is clear. New leader once again, Bryce Benton takes it. Now Matthew White looking to the inside for Cherry. On Cherry for 2nd, and Braden Huntsicker also is coming. Yeah, Holes is definitely starting to struggle, and here comes White for P2. Side by side with Richard Cherry. Matthew White drives it deep into the corner. Cherry slides. White is clear. And here comes Braden Huntsicker for 3rd. This car is very, very racing tonight, as you can tell. These drivers have been all over the racetrack, picking up positions, and Bryce Benson now leads Matthew White to second. Braden Hunsicker clear to P3 on Cherry, who falls back to fourth, and Ashton Miller up to P5. And guys, these cars are getting harder and harder to drive as this run goes on?
Yeah, I'd say so, especially if you're in dirty air. If you're out front, I'm sure it's a lot better.
Oh, here comes Donahue. Miller got sideways, so did Cherry. These cars are almost wrecking loose. My goodness. Donahue goes to P5. Back around the field, everyone just trying to keep the car under them. Here's CJ Airman to the outside of Landon Johnson. Johnson having a great run, your unofficial pole sitter back in season 1, up to P15. Taking advantage of some issues with drivers like Wilkin, Lindsay, Rowe, and Stacy.
No, I was up to like 8th, and then I picked the wrong line to choose.
Miller, though, looking for momentum, going to be heading down the front straightaway yet again. Loosely single file up front. We have 15 now remaining in the stage. Stage 1's all awarded, of course, to the top 10. Looking at the field here, drivers that need stage 1, Dayton Knowles looking to get 3 from this. John Hilquich as well. John Butler would like 2 points. And Bryce Benson looking to win the stage for another chase point. Can Matthew White run him down in these final 15 laps? Braden Hunsicker sits quietly in 3rd, but hasn't had a fast race go so far. Cherry now beginning to get run down by Aiden Donahue. Aiden Donahue would love to see victory lane tonight. Now 14 races into the season, still winless. Who would have thought that Braden Hunsicker and Aiden Donahue combined for 0 wins in race 15 of the season at Michigan? I definitely wouldn't have thought that. I thought combining they might have combined for half the wins on the season, but not even remotely close. 0. Big old goose egg. Here goes Ashton Miller with Aiden Knowles. Aiden actually doing a nice job getting a spot here to the inside. He's been very impressive on this run after staying out. And Knowles clear on Miller. Aggressively, though. And here comes John Butler. Landon, did I just see you hit the wall?
Yeah.
What was that?
I just got loose.
What happens? What happens now?
I was getting a run. Well, we're towing, so I'm sure I'm done.
Oh. Well, that's unfortunate. The Ashton Miller now the inside of Aiden Knowles. Once again to 3 and 4. John Butler going to almost slide to the door of that 42 machine. And a pretty, Miller. Hang on to that thing. Here comes that 42 of Holes. These cars, obviously, a lot tougher to drive than the Grand National cars last night. Veterans are showing what they do best with Benton, White, Hunsicker, Donahue, and Chandler up front. I mean, they're the first non-winner is P7, Aiden Holes. Miller also is a winner in the Cup Series. It's a good battle here between these 3. Miller looking inside again on Holes to his quarter panel. John Butler just trying to wait in the wings back in 9th. Ashton Miller again to the inside to his door. We side by side down this front stretch. Actually, it's back out of line. Here comes John Butler to the outside of Miller now. Butler's been always quiet this season, but as pace when it counts, here we go. Battle between Cameron Chandler and Aiden Donahue begins to heat up. That's going to be almost an 8 car to the inside of the 82 of Donahue. He's side by side, almost heading down the front straightaway. He's trying to just side draft his quarter panel to pull him back. See the side draft beginning to work. Battle for P4. Cameron Chandler, your points leader, drives it in deep into the corner. Going to slide up the racetrack, almost gets loose, and here comes Donahue back to his inside. Cameron, though, is clear. Takes P4 away from Aiden Donahue. 10 to go in the stage. up front, Bryce Benton is starting to march away from Matthew White, who's beginning to fall into the clutches of Braden Hunsicker and others. Here's the 09 of John Butler looking inside on Aiden Holmes. Miller now actually being caught by the 30 of Sean Hilquich. I mean, all things considered, Hilquich has done a good job not falling even further than he did originally. And there is Miller, loose hometown driver, not having a good run so far. What is going on down the back straightaway? Actually, Hilquich gets the spot on Ashton Miller, and here comes John Butler to the inside of Aiden Holmes. Very crucial to save your stuff here in Michigan so far. Definitely a lot more spread out as the run goes on than we saw last night in Grand National. Here's Jacob Clarina about to be a lap down in a minute to Bryce Benton. Matthew White got loose nearly into the wall. Oh, Richard Cherry goes around, spins down the back straightaway by himself, full 360. Caution is out for some. Why is that a caution, iRacing? Come on. Pretty ridiculous
That's
yellow.
make it very interesting. Do the guys want to waste another set of tires for this restart? Or do these guys stay out because there's only 7 to go? Or the guys pit and not go at all and just ride around and flip the stage?
A lot of drivers probably actually like that yellow for, yeah, speaking about that. Probably a lot of them, I don't know if I would see them get tires or why. There goes Cherry around. At least you get to cool down their stuff. Obviously, we had a scheduled pit stop coming at the end of the stage, but caution comes out now. Longest run of the day, easily. We needed that, but I mean, you saw who's good in the long run, who's good in the short run. Bryce Benton looks pretty good in the long run. Same thing with Matthew White and Braden Hunsicker. So Miller definitely needs some adjustments to be better on the short run eventually. There goes the 95 of Clarina, who actually got saved by this yellow. We'll stay on the lead lap. All right, well, the caution is back out after a run of about 30 or so laps, close to that, maybe 25, but definitely better than what we had earlier. Who's gonna pit? That's the question now. We see strategy up front.
I have to assume everybody's going to come here.
Yeah, leaders are all coming. Will anyone stay out, though? I mean, it would be tough to hold the position here with the amount of tire wear we've seen. If you stay out, that is. Well, everybody from the lead lap will come to pit. 5 cars, I believe, out of the race so far on lap 44. Leaders all to come to service their race cars. Probably would be 4 fresh Goodyear tires. If you're here, you take them. To be a shootout for the stage. Bryce Benton looking to get off pit road first. Can he do that? Here we go behind him. Good launch off the thing there. He's actually going to be, oh, it's a 3-wide, almost a 4-wide battle. He gets it. Second will be White. Third, Hunsicker. Fourth, Donahue. Fifth, Aiden Holmes. That was a close battle off the pit road. There's Cherry, of course, after spinning.
Now, one thing to be interesting here is see if these guys everybody pitted here, see what guys stay out there and stay. Or do you guys come back in to take another set of tires?
So how many sets do you think they've used so far, though? 2?
I assume everybody's used 2. And the
So I
next one will be 3.
Yeah. You get 5, an extra, due to the added horsepower and whatnot.
I think they'll come back down just to how much tire wear is, but well, we're going to restart. I think we'll have a mixed bag here because it'll be about 4 laps on tires. The tires here do matter, but 4 laps, if you're up front, you might want to keep track position and maybe short pit near the end for the final stage, but we'll see.
All right, coming to the shoes this time by. We're going to restart with 4 to go in the stage. It'll be our final restart of the stage, that's guaranteed.
The only thing that'll mess this up, if there'll be no strategy at all, I'll assume everybody stay out so we get a quick yellow.
Everyone, of course, comes to the shoes. Long green flag run, cut short by a spinning. As you see, Johnson's still there on pit road. Spinning Rich Cherry. All right. Ready for the restart yet again. Mason Lindsay is reconnecting to the session, by the way.
There's a couple guys here. Me and Dylan Banks decided not to take tires. I guess what I did is just take the fuel so we get the safest set of tires right around the finish stage. I guess Dylan's doing the same thing because he's not going for the playoffs.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting. All right, well, here we go for the restart. Bryce Benson, Matthew White on the front row. Looking for stage points here. Who's going to win the stage? 4 to go. Chase point, of course, awarded to your stage winner. Top 10 will get those stage points. And a lot of drivers could be needing them. If you think about it, this is a big opportunity for Aiden Holes. I mean, he could gain some valuable points here with guys like Jacob Quayle out of the race now. Payson Lindsay, of course, in the pits. 32 laps down. I mean, who knows?
Yeah, because he was only, I think, we haven't talked about the playoff, but he was gaining with Payson Lindsay. He was about the same behind Payson Lindsay. He was gaining about the same as Payson. I think he was maybe 2 or 3 behind him. And now he has a chance to get stage points to go back green here.
Yeah, he's had some good races. He's become to 4 to go in this stage for the restart. Back to green, and Bryce Benson gets a good jump on Matthew White. And here comes Braden Hunsick for second. 2 is inside. Back up into 1 and 2. Under green they go, and Braden has a good restart. To the inside of Matthew White he goes. And gonna clear him. Now we'll try to chase down your leader, Benson. Oh, Morgan and Aiden Donahue come from all of a sudden. My goodness, how about that to the inside for second? The 82 car shot out of a absolute cannon for P2 now. And almost for the lead, here comes Aiden Donahue. P2 he goes, got to run down the front straightaway, 3 to go in the stage. Would love a stage win. Might be his first of the year if he can get it. Where did he come from? My goodness. Here he is with a run down the back straightaway on Bryce Benson. Matthew White actually driving to the inside of his teammate, Braden Hunsicker for P3. Yeah, I don't know where Aiden came from. That was pretty impressive. Oh, now Aiden slides up the race, gets loose, almost in the wall. Braden Hunsicker's back at it, now the 3 wide for second. Here comes Matthew White on the inside again. This is just allowing Benson to pull away with 2 to go. Matthew White gets second place away now. He will try to chase down Bryce Benson, but with these 3 battling so hard, that has allowed Benson to pull away. Donahue on the bottom through 3 and 4. Coming to 1 to go in the stage this time by. Aiden Donahue side by side with Matthew White for second place. These 2 used to be the class dominants here in the Cup Series, but new drivers like Bryce Benson, Cameron Chandler have kind of taken that over. Charles Rowe can also throw into that as well with 2 wins on the year, but unfortunately he's out of the race. Final lap in the stage. Donahue for second. On the bottom of Matthew White, he gets loose, heading down the back straightaway. White is clear. Hunsicker back there in 4th. You see Chandler running back there in 5th. Aiden Holes, by the way, 7th place. There's a 3-wide battle. There's Ashton Miller to the inside. It is getting dicey for the final few stage points. Ooh, Miller loose on the bottom off turn 4. Here comes Hunsicker for second. Green and white checker flag waiting 3 wide. Aiden Donahue all the way down. 3 wide for second. Not sure who got it. Benson wins the stage. And stage caution will come out. That was, I got to look at that. Benson obviously won the stage, 3 wide for second. I believe Hunsicker might have gotten it.
They have it on iRacing. It's Hunsicker, White, and Donahue.
That was unbelievable. Let's take a look. Have a look at that. Oh my, yeah, Hunsicker got it. That was insane. Braden Hunsicker, where did he come from for that stage win? Or that second place in the stage, I should say. The stage win goes to Bryce Benson. Hunsicker gets second place stage points. White 3rd, Donahue 4th, Cameron Chandler 5th. John Butler, P6. Good stage points for Aiden Holes, P7. You see Miller, also Hillquist needs some stage points. He's P9. And Cherry actually rebounded. Get 10. Wow, what a battle there to the end of the stage. Not really sure where the pace car is. There he is. All right. So who pits now? So remember, guys like Dylan Banks, I think you, Eli, as well, didn't take tires. So I would assume you guys would pit.
Yeah, we'll definitely come in, but it's gonna be interesting here because guys obviously took tires for that final run. Even with, now, if we had 4 sets, I assume most guys would stay out here. But with the extra set of tires, it has a little more breathing room to take that set here. I say we get a mixed bag. Just I think either way we're gonna have some stay out and some pit. I doubt we get one side or the other.
Yeah, it should be interesting. I think Zane Rahman actually brought up pit road as well already, I mean. Oh. For some reason, iRacing disqualified Donovan Hogan. I'm not really sure what that was all about. There he is. He's back. Okay. We fixed it. All right.
See, seems like most guys are staying out.
Well, here comes
stay out
Matthew.
here.
Matthew White pits. Stayed into this. This is a mixed bag. Wow. Really mixed bag. So Benson, Hunsicker, Chandler all stay out. White, Donahue pit.
And Payson Lindsay's back on track. That may not sound very weird, but for him at the points, every position matters, and he is 25th, and he can get up to 20th, so that's 5 extra points for him. And with Guy on the cut line, that's right above it, and Jake Crail, he can gain points somehow today if he passes him.
Yeah, that'll be. I mean, so he's got what? Rowe, Quayle, and Wilkin and Johnson that pass. They roll up pit road.
Get up to 20. As of right now, he can get to 21st. So that's extra 5 points for him. And that could be very big once he gets to Daytona.
Yeah, you never know what can happen in Daytona. Of course, he's won that race before, so I'm not exactly sure where Payson is. There he is in the 99. He's just back there. Still, obviously not the.
He's not gonna have. Yeah, he's not gonna have a lot of speed here, but it'll be enough to where just to get the laps down. He's hoping for a couple wrecks here, so he can maybe gain some more possession.
I mean, he doesn't need speed. He's, what, how many laps down at this point? 38? I mean, he doesn't need any speed, really. He's just got to ride around to not... He doesn't want to crash, obviously, because then that's going to mess up his positioning. So if I was Payson Lindsay, just ride around. There's no any reason. Just ride in the back. Just don't get, I guess, be in the way of the leaders, whatever. You're just trying to pass cars that are already DNF'd. Nothing you can really do differently there. All right, we'll come into the choose here. Of course, Benton, Hunsicker, Chandler, Holes, Miller, Erdman, DeFilippi, Pfeiffer all stay out. White, Donahue, the first 2 to pit. Remember, tires only about 4 laps old.
Yeah, this would be a great opportunity to see how much these tires matter. Because 4-lap run, let's see here. Maybe we get a couple late race cautions. And the extra set of tires comes to benefits of these guys that did not take tires to see if it makes a big difference here with the restart.
Now, we haven't had an overtime finish, speaking about late race yellows, since Nashville agreed to check the finish, since Nashville in January. It's now the middle of April, but you never know. A full moon seems to be out tonight, or the full sun, like Landon said. Who knows?
What'd you say about me?
You said the full sun is out.
No, that was Eli.
Oh, it was Eli. Oh, I'm getting mixed up between you two. My goodness.
I'm up in the booth now.
I mean, Landon Johnson could cover the entire sun.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna throw you
Yeah,
out of the booth.
that's why we have solo clips.
Yep, exactly. Landon Johnson.
That's why it only.
Whenever Landon Johnson jumps.
My car jumped into that outside wall.
Yeah, we had an eclipse. Anyways, coming back to green here. Gonna be well into the second half. Gonna be 46 laps to go. Bryce Benson on the inside of Braden Hunsicker. You got Cameron Chandler for second on Aiden Holes. Holes has had a remarkably good race for him. But DeFilippi restarting here in third. We'll hopefully see how that hopefully that goes okay, I mean. Dayton Donahue chose inside. Really early compared to, I don't know what happened back there. A lot of tail end of the longest line here. A lot of drivers choosing outside. Matthew White's about 2 lanes back on Donahue. But back to green here in the second half. And Max DeFilippi did not go at all. He's immediately going to be split. Of course, he can't pass or make get a line before the start-finish line. But here comes Braden Hunsicker trying to get to the outside of Bryce Benson for the lead. He is there, going to try to put some air on his quarter panel. Benson, though, is clear. Heading down the backstretch. I mean, Braden knows he's got to go. Just trying to make up the position. He's going to get to the quarter panel of Bryce Benson yet again. Looking on the bottom. Ooh, he gets that 9-car really loose. Sideways. Here comes Braden Hunsicker. Trying to get to his inside. He's there. Side by side down the front straightaway. Where will Cameron Chandler go back there in third? Single file. Almost contact. He's aggressively making this position up, and he's going to slide up the racetrack, trying to put a bit of a slide job on Bryce Benson. He clears him. New leader in Michigan, Braden Hunsicker. Here comes Cameron Chandler now. He just took that away. Man, that was impressive by Braden. Cameron now for second on his teammate, Bryce Benson. They're almost 3 wide further back, Max Diffie and others. Oh, Diffie is going to nearly turn Cameron Chandler. Oh, my goodness. What is he doing?
On the pit road should be, and of course the yellow. How's that a yellow, iRacing?
That is terrible caution. And Max Diffie has to calm it down. He has been the cause of about 3 of these yellows. Let's see what happened now. He just comes up, door slams Ashton Miller. And then wrecks himself. Nobody touched him there. Oh, Aiden Donahue. That was lucky. I mean, my goodness. I want to ride along with this 82 car for this track. Riding with Aiden. So, of course, Max gets loosely seen. Go around there. Oh, my goodness. That was near disaster. Maybe a half second, not even earlier. And he is done. That could have been very bad. So obviously I don't think anyone pits here. If you pit now, can't make it to the end unless some guys in the back. All right. Here goes Cole Clausen off pit road, but I want to talk about how Braden Hunsicker got the lead. Absolutely muscled his way around. That was very impressive. I mean, just, wow. So this has been the most cautions we've seen at a cup race in a pretty long time. I mean, this is almost now a wild card, I guess you can say, because how fast these cars are, how loose they are as well. This track, it almost is kind of like a wild card. Used to be maybe like a normal race like Michigan, but I mean, I would call this a wild card. I wouldn't put this into an intermediate style normal race. This thing is wild. Braden Hunsicker, you see, coasting to save some fuel. There goes Pace and Lindsay. Actually gets the free pass. He's the only car left running that's a lap down. He's technically not the first car laps down, but he's the only one running. So he'll get now 37 laps down. Outside goes Hunsicker, inside goes Benton. Interesting outside for the 77 of Braden. How's that going to work out? We saw Cole Wilson do that in the Grand National race, and it worked to perfection late in the going. He won. So we'll see what Braden can do. Restart on lap 60 here in Michigan. It's been an interesting one. We've had a decent-sized green flag run and a bunch of other short runs with that. Alrighty. Well, Eli, you're of course the only one left running between you and Landon Johnson. What could you possibly expect here in this, now coming up 41 to go?
Praying for a green flag run. The closest one probably is maybe 10 lap 4. No one's going to make it. Strategy could be very interesting. I mean, I expect everybody to take 4 tires, but when the pits, it's going to be interesting. But it's not going to matter if we don't get a green flag run here, so we'll see.
Yeah, so if we do get a green flag run in at least a while now, we would see green flag pit stops, but that's only if we get that green flag run. Here we go, coming back to the restart on lap number 60 in Michigan. Oh, that's a good restart by Bryce Benson, and I don't know if the outside lane was a great choice by Braden Hunsicker in the 77. We'll see, though, as they go up the speed back into 1. Aiden Hole's got a good restart as well in the bottom. Hunsicker going to clear Benson, so he was relying on the momentum on the outside to be able to work for a minute, and it looks like it did, but maybe not. Here comes the 9 of Benson again to the side, to the quarter panel of the door of Braden Hunsicker. And he takes the lead. How about that? But he's going to slide up the racetrack. Braden might have another run. Ooh, he gets him tight. See Ashton Miller to the inside, and now the 8 of Cameron Chandler. And Braden Hunsicker's got the 8 of Cameron Chandler, who's outside again. They're 3 wide down the front straightaway for second. Benson now trying to block multiple lanes at once. Chandler up the racetrack. They're almost 3 wide. Almost 4 wide for a quick second. Ooh, Aiden Hole's got loose. He's in the wall. Almost contact with Erdman. Matthew White back there at 9th. Hasn't been able to march his way up through this field. Bryce Benson now, of course, leads. Here is Ashton Miller. How about the hometown guy? For second almost on Braden Hunsicker, but he's got Cameron Chandler coming to the run with Aiden Donahue. Richard Cherry, of course, spun out in the first half of the race. He's trying to recover. Up to P6 he goes. Aiden Donahue also still having a good day inside of the top 5. There's Matthew White in the 7. The door of CJ Erdman. Max DeFilippi's been a cause of about 3 yellows here. I would be careful if I was him at this point. I don't think he wants to cause another one. He's there to the inside of Dylan Banks. Oh! Oh, no! Around goes Hillquist. Please don't be a caution. iRacing, are you serious? What a joke. Why is that a caution? So silly. Hillquist just gets, he's got to check up, and then he gets ran over by Donovan Hogan. Around he goes. Not a necessary caution again. And this probably ruins the green flag pit strategy. Yeah, there's nowhere to go for Donovan, unfortunately. I don't think not really going to put full blame on him.
Even if you're picky, I still think you're about 3 to 5 laps short. So, I mean, I guess I could see everybody coming down and saving, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I don't know.
It looks like I think everybody's going to come down here.
I'd assume they would.
Bryce stays out.
Oh, and Aiden Donahue, too, and Matthew White. Oh, God, Max Diffie. I don't think you almost caused another one there.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be making those kind of moves.
Yeah, he has had a rough race. Somehow that car's still rolling on all four wheels, but this is interesting now. Not a completely mixed bag, but not completely.
A lot of the front runners.
I mean, yeah, it's
Or
only
a few of the front runners.
Benson, Donahue, White from the leaders at least stay out. Looks like they're getting 4 fresh Goodyears.
I mean, they
I
got
I
an
assume
extra
most
set
of these
to it.
guys have one. Some of these guys might have one set left, so we do get like the yellows, like 20 to go. Well, probably in about 10, 15 laps, and another one near the end, they could be in trouble.
Ashton Miller wins the race off pit road here, and we'll be right back in Michigan.
I honestly think some of these guys are going to come and beat pit again just to get extra fuel because most of these guys are probably a couple laps short of fuel. So we'll see. As Balaam Aiden Holes actually got a speeding penalty, so he has to go to the end along this line. So now entering the tubes.
Alright, shoes cone. Now, but inside goes Benson and Donahue. Now we got the front row to Matthew White. Okay, well, so guys who, I'm assuming, Eli, you pitted.
Being colded, so we'll be the closest to make it to the end.
What's the number?
Right now it's giving me 33.7, but it's obviously not going full speed. I'd say it's closer to the 30 side. So probably about 3 laps short, 2 to 3.
Alrighty.
But some of these guys like Bryce Benson, I can see the strategy, and they can probably go. I think what their mindset is, they think everybody's at the pit, and they're going to go full force, and they're going to have to make the guys that did pit go full force where they can't save the fuel.
I mean, we'll have to see here. Who knows?
Plus, you will see probably a tire difference with 3 star. I don't know if Bryce Benson might fall back, but it was, I would say, the 10% difference between the guys that stayed out and pitted. So unless these guys really save, this week's looking at very interesting fresh tires.
Well, we're going to restart lap 67. Still only 34 to go. 34 to go. Coming back green. 34 laps remain in Michigan. Here we go. It's a good restart by Bryce Benson. Gets away nicely. Aiden Donahue now trying to go side by side with Matthew White. What will fresher tires do in the back? Ready, Rich Cherry trying to split Max DiFilippi. Side by side for a second. Oh! Miller shoots up the racetrack at 31. He is almost to the wall. He saves it for now. Gets loose down the back straightaway. Here we go. Matthew White clears Aiden Donahue. Braden Hunsicker all the way to the bottom. Great wide on John Butler, nearly the apron. Now he goes side by side with fellow Cup Series champion Dylan Banks. But he gets him loose. Oh my goodness. Max Nippy now to the bumper of Cameron Chandler, still running in 7th. And here comes Matthew White. He has challenged that 9 back at a 1 and 2. Aiden Donahue, though, goes back to his inside once more. Aiden Donahue with the run of his teammate. Ashton Miller goes to the bottom as well. Showtime Motorsports coming back through the field. Donahue clears Matthew White, but he's still got Ashton Miller there. Matthew's going to push Aiden down the front straightaway. They're going to have a huge run coming now on Bryce Benson. Wasn't as big as I thought. Misspoke. Sorry about that. White, though, still on the outside. Oh, loose there. More contact behind them. Miller falls back in line behind the 7.
One thing to watch here, Ethan, the guys that did pit here, you gotta watch them here, see here if they're using the clutch or not. Because right now, it has to be about a lap and a half short as the contact here, if I stay straight. Lap and a half short, I assume those guys are probably 2, so you hear a lot of coasting if they weren't trying to make it.
Yeah, we'll jump on board with some cars in a minute once everything gets sorted out. So you see the 77 of Braden Hunsicker there on the inside of Cheery. Braden is so motivated for a victory tonight. Of course, like I said earlier, winless through now was going to be 15 races after this one. And he's 6 away. He led some laps earlier. Has a fast car. Can he take advantage of it and get his first win of the year in Michigan? Bryce Benton comes to 30 laps to go. Imagine some guys would be willing to save tires, to save fuel, I mean. The Ashton Miller now still to the bumper of Matthew White.
The top 3, like, I get we're only 4 or 5 laps into this run, but I mean, they're holding on pretty good with these new tire guys.
Aiden Donahue also is trying to run down Bryce Benton for the lead. That 82 car has been quick all day. Oh, he's loose. I've had a couple of times those moments. But he's been quick. Bryce Benton and Aiden Donahue had a bit of an incident in Phoenix earlier this season where they got together in the opening few laps. They got everything sorted out after that, though. They should be all good to go in a race. Each other. Here comes Matthew White, though, trying to look to the inside on that 82 car. Ashton Miller also. Oh, and oh my God! That was nearly a horrible wreck. And here comes Miller. That was nearly catastrophic. My goodness. And Miller gets second from Donahue, but he slides back up the racetrack. Donahue back to his inside. White is trying to get there as well. Man, that could have been bad. And here comes Cameron Chandler. Yeah, Chandler goes 3 wide on the bottom to 3 and 4. Can't hold it down there. Matthew White going to slide up the racetrack again. Cameron Chandler looking at the inside of Donahue. White is, oh my goodness, he's loose. Trying to save it, he will. Now Miller going to try to chase down your leader, Bryce Benson. And here comes Braden Hunsicker to the bottom of the racetrack with Aiden Donahue. Matthew White has just been tracking sideways. Here comes Hunsicker looking 3 wide again to the bottom. He goes to the inside on that 82 of Donahue. Side by side, looking at, that's going to be tight. Yeah, Donahue had the lift there. He knew that was going to be catastrophic again if Hunsicker came across his nose. The P5, though, goes Braden. Here comes Aiden Holst to the inside of that 96 of Erdman. He gets the spot. Here comes Dylan Banks. He's been quiet all day long. Looking to get now P9 from Erdman. But it's only 25 to go this time by. And here comes Ashton Miller. He has now caught that 9 of Benton. Battle is on for the lead in Michigan. 25 laps to go. Will Miller be able to do there? He won, a Lobbies race in Michigan not too long ago with the Next Gens. He actually had a great battle with Bryce Benton there. Part 2 could be coming up, but then they didn't have drivers like Cameron Chandler, Matthew White, Braden Hunsicker, and Donahue, and others in the field. So a lot of other more challengers to come with this. Miller back into the clutches of Cameron Chandler and Matthew White. Only 2 cars inside of the top 10. Now, right now, they don't have wins in the
Caution's out.
Unbelievable. Again.
That rears my strategy. Awesome.
He just loses it himself again. It's yet another caution DeFilippi has caused. And we're going to... Yeah. We've had it. This is different. Once again, Max DeFilippi has caused another accident. He is just, yeah, I think he might call it quits at this point. And, Max DeFilippi has now brought it to pit road. Might be to the garage.
Sean Potter's pretty good.
What?
Sean, he said we have stage brakes and Olympic brakes.
Reportedly, Max Diffie isn't very happy with me over the radio. Can anyone confirm?
No.
Yes.
I confirm. He said not very pleased. Yep.
Okay. I mean, maybe don't cause 4 yellows in a race, but okay. Anyways, here come the leaders down to pit road. Do I see people staying out? Or is that my eyes deceiving me? Donovan Hogan just stayed out, by the way. Okay.
I can't even make it on fuel.
I don't know why. Yeah, that's exactly. I mean, God only knows. Here comes everyone up in the pit.
This could be someone's last set. Some of these guys could be their last set of tires.
Yeah.
It's going to be a race off pit road, though.
Miller got Miller only 2 tires, I believe. He's going to win the race off pit road. Maybe fuel only, I'm not really sure. Here we go. Good stop by Benson. It'll be, oh, he slides, gets loose. It'll still be him off pit road. That was nearly a wreck for Bryce Smith off pit road. That's just how close it is. Matthew White there off 3rd, 4th, Chandler 5th, Hunsicker. And Donovan Hogan stays out.
If we didn't have that wreck, I had enough to cross on finish line.
Okay, so that could be what Donovan Hogan's seeing.
Yes, right side only for Ashton Miller.
Well, this has been one heck of a race. I mean, it's been a little bit low-key the last few weeks, but man, the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series today is back. This is this feels normal again. I guess that's the word. I know we've had a little bit too many cautions today. Oh, and Hogan pitting. Okay, that's interesting. I'm not really sure if that's strategy.
There's a few drivers complaining over the radio.
About what?
About him staying out.
Yeah, I guess peer pressure right there. All right, well, we're going to restart 20 to go. Could this be the final restart of the day? Who knows?
And who has tires left again, though, late lace yellow? I assume most guys here have none or 1 set left.
Yeah, this is coming down to it. Crunch time. Time to go. All right. 20 laps remaining once the green flag comes back out here in Michigan. Everyone is good on fuel and tires.
And with 20 to go, I think you can push 100% most of the way, and you can make it without your tires falling apart. So maybe save your spoiler, but I think those guys can push all the way and make it on tires.
Yeah, this is going to be a true race to the end. Who is going to win it? Miller, 2 tires. Bryce Benton, 4 tires. Coming back to the restart zone. A decent jump, but they're side by side. Back underway in Michigan. 20 laps to go. Benton got actually a better jump than that 79 car. Where's Matthew White going to go as they go back into 1 and 2? Miller on the outside gets a little bit loose. And Benton clear. Hunsicker. Oh, my goodness. Miller sideways. Here comes Cameron Chandler. And Braden Hunsicker. Matthew White getting kind of screwed by Ashton Miller there. And Donahue also trying to come back up to the field. Three wide further back. They're almost, I thought they were going to be 4 wide for a second there. Cherry is coming. Now, Cameron Chandler is P2. Can he run down his teammate? Up the racetrack goes Aiden Donahue. Here comes Richard Cherry to the bottom again. On Braden Hunsicker. Oh, Matthew White. He is frustrated. I was actually talking to him under caution. He is very frustrated. Not happy, and he's showing his displeasure there under green down the back straightaway, just weaving his tires over there. Oh, Miller in the wall. Oh, he's nearly crashing. Ashton Miller got damaged now. Saves the car, but he'll be slow down the front straightaway. He's going to fall back to probably the lowest he's been all day, now almost 11th. Here is Dylan Banks for P6. How about him? He stayed in it all race and might capitalize for a decent finish. The gap up front, 0.3 of a second between Benton and Chandler. Somehow, someway, these two always find each other at the front of the field late in these races. Here's Cole Boston looking at the inside of John Butler for P11. Sideways again. Oh, both in the wall. Boston and Butler. More up front. There is Benton still leading the race. Can Cameron Chandler run it down? Braden Hunsicker, though, still in 3rd. Here comes Aiden Donahue trying to challenge for 4th. Dylan Banks to the inside of Matthew White as well. Side by side for P6. Dylan Banks is up to 6th. Matthew White back to 7th. And Cameron Chandler is almost all in the clutches of Braden Hunsicker here for 2nd place. That 77 car is flying.
Yeah, that 77 is the fastest car on the track right now.
Can anyone, though, pass Bryce Benton? They gain on him pretty nicely. Oh, but Cameron up the racetrack in the wall. Nearly in. Here comes Hunsicker. He actually stays in line with him to give him a shot. No, he doesn't. He pulls out of line now. Looking at the inside for 2nd. 15 to go. Gotta make this pass quickly if you're Braden Hunsicker. He does. Can he run down Bryce Benton? Remember, back in the Charlotte 600, we all thought Braden Hunsicker was on cruising to his first win of the season, and of course the win in that crown jewel gave it up to Benton in the final corner in that race. And now Braden maybe repay the favor. He's got to push. He's now pulled away from Cameron Chandler. Richard Cherry back there in 4th. Aiden Donahue back there in 5th. And Dylan Banks still holding on the 6th with Matthew White running in P7. Give a real quick shout out to Ethan McMillan. He's found himself inside of the top 10. How about that? Gap still about 0.4 of a second up front between Hunsicker and Benton for the lead. Braden actually starting to get into that gap a little bit more. Bryce has had a lot of experience leading laps this season, but Braden Hunsicker is probably the most hungry driver for a win in this field today. great corner there. He got loose. And if you're almost Cameron Chandler, I know Bryce Benson is your teammate, but, I mean, teammates don't really mean anything late in the race. So if I'm Cameron Chandler, I almost want to push Braden Hunsaker to help myself because you can gain on the 9 by doing that. 9 has no help, obviously. So if Braden, once he slides up here, I think if you're Cameron, you stay in line and you push him. I think he's going to be close enough to give him a shove, but I assume he stays in line. Because if you pass him, I don't know, you might be killing your chance of the win. It's kind of like what we've seen in Fontana before. I think back in a Grand National last season, after Miller and Cherry, I think there was something similar to that to try to catch Justin Rye. It didn't work, but you never know. Something could happen. We'll see. 12 laps to go in Michigan. Speaking of Rich Cherry, here he is running in fourth. Having a good day.
It's hard to push of these cars, but once you get side by side with these cars, there's a lot of momentum. So it must be, I don't know if Cameron can maybe push him, but I assume he can get up to all the way to the closest back row possible. If you get side by side, it's a lot of time.
Yeah, he hasn't been able to get to his bumper yet. He's on the wall a little bit through 1 and 2. Now if you're Braden Hunsaker, I think you want to start around behind that 9. He's going to go up the racetrack through 1 and 2. Gets a little bit loose. Oh, he's on the wall. Yep, that's going to hurt him. Exactly what Benson needs to see. Bryce has actually really been the fastest car in this race, and now Cameron Chandler slides. 10 laps to go in Michigan. Final 10 in this race. Sorry, what are we doing? Wow, okay. Get a little bit further back. See, Ashton Miller falling outside of the top 10 now. Taking 2 tires is not going well. Does anyone know if Payson Lindsay's still on the track?
No, as soon as he passed all the lap down cars, he left.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Up front now, Cameron Chandler to the inside. Oh, Hunsaker for second. I think he just couldn't wait enough. 9 to go now. He got P2, but this is just allowing that 9 to pull away again. Here we go, Matthew White looking for 6th on Dylan Banks. Oh, Dylan Banks is sideways, so is Matthew White. Both of them save it, but Matthew's got the spot. The gap, 0.8 of a second between teammates up front.
Oh, the car stopped up high. That might bring out the yellow.
Where?
Millen.
Oh, he's in the wall. He's slow down the front straightaway. So far, NASCAR, the league officials electing to keep it green. I think we are going to stay green here. He's still rolling. I believe we're staying green. Riding along with Cameron Chandler. He's got to push as hard as possible now. Try to
watch if these leaders catch him. You might have to throw the yellow if the leaders catch him.
McMillan is in the grass. He's on the apron now. He's okay. He's out of the way.
Oh, that's good.
7 to go. The gap now 0.7 of a second. Cameron Chandler again. Now he's searching up to the wall. He gets loose though. I mean, it's just. Yeah, there's McMillan slow on the inside. He's all the way out of the way, though. We're going to stay green. Unfortunate. Ethan was having a good day. And Brandon Piper looking for his career best finish in 10th today. Where did he come from? That's pretty impressive as well. Oh, Richard Cherry.
Oh, big time loose.
Oh, my goodness. Here comes Aiden Donahue who's outside. He gets 4th. Man, that was, I don't know what happened there. God. There's Cameron Chandler all the way to the wall. He is just pushing. Oh, he's sideways now. Oh, my. Yeah, he's losing the back end of that race car. Still Bryce Benson holding on. Now here comes Hunsaker. He lets him go. Hunsaker to second again. They swap yet once more. Just allowing that 9 car to just eat that gap away and drive off into the sunset. Coming to 5 laps to go, this time by Michigan. almost looks like now the only thing that could spoil Bryce Benson's win here is maybe a caution. Who knows? Not over till it's over, obviously. How about Aiden Donahue trying to get maybe even third away from Cameron Chandler? Got to run down the front straightaway. The gap now is second for Benson. Here is Donahue looking inside on Cameron Chandler. Oh, and the wall goes that 29 of Richard Cherry. Aiden Donahue for P3 on Cameron Chandler. Ooh, Chandler loose on the bottom. Here goes Donahue in the 82 to his inside. Side by side down the front straightaway for third. Cameron going to try to side draft to pull that 82 car back. And Chandler clear still on Donahue with 3 to go. Benson just looking to hold on. Second now out front. So impressive by the 9. He is, I mean, quietly these last 2 weeks or so. I know Cameron dominated Homestead 2 weeks ago, or 2 races ago, but Bryce Benson has almost been the fastest car these last few weeks. Here goes Dylan Banks side by side with Matthew White. Battle for P6. Banks is gonna look to clear him. He will. 2 laps to go in Michigan. Still, again, side by side between Donahue and Chandler. Final spot inside of the top 3 is up for grabs. Here comes Bryce Benson. What a season it's been so far for the 9. Unbelievable. He's gonna see the white flag yet again. Final lap in Michigan. Here we go. Aiden Donahue to the inside of that 8 car of Chandler. Side by side for the final time, back into 1 and 2. Donahue at the bottom, Chandler again on that outside. Gonna be door to door, heading down the back straightaway. Battle for the 3rd spot. Still is up. But as Bryce Benson makes his way through turns 3 and 4, what a season so far. It'll be win number 6 on the year. To the checkered flag. He'll do it again. Bryce Benson has won in Michigan. Second is Hunsicker at the line. Oh, who got it? I don't know. I think it was Donahue got it. Wow. Chandler's going to be... No, now they updated it. Chandler got it. Donahue 4th, Cherry 5th. Matthew White got 6th. Oh, Dylan Banks lost 2 spots all of a sudden to Urban, who finished 7th. Banks 8th. Butler 9th. How about a career best finish for Brandon Pfeiffer? He gets 10th. But Bryce Benson has won yet again. 2 in a row for the driver of the 9. And he has just been racking up these chase points, the most of anyone this season. Your winner in Michigan. 6th career win for the driver of the 9. And he will get to burn it down. Coming down the front straightaway. He's tried this wheel span a couple times this season. Hasn't really worked out for him. Let's see where he gets here. I don't know. He's gotten actually further than he's gotten these last few wins he's had. Oh, he's doing a good job. He might get there. I don't know. Nah. Yeah, I ran out. Well, better effort than before. Well, he's gonna try another one down the front straightaway. All right. Well, that does it in Michigan. I mean, interesting race all around, I would say. Very, very interesting. But no different in the victory lane. It's Benton 8. Best win of the season. No other driver has more than 2. His only 6 wins of his career have come in this season.
I think he saved them all from the season, so just use them all this year.
Yeah, I don't know what. He never won a race before this season. 2 winless years, 1 no playoffs, 1 knocked out of the first round. All of a sudden, 6 wins in a single season. I don't know where this came from. He's still only second in points because Cameron Chandler's just been that consistent with his 2 wins. 3 drivers have 2 wins, them being Cameron Chandler, Sean Rowe, and Matthew White. No other driver, though, has more than that besides Bryce Benton with now 6. Unbelievable. That is so insane. 15 races into the season.
I feel like I'm watching like Connor Village 2025.
I mean, he doesn't dominate the races. He's just always there at the end and capitalizes. In this race, he did lead the most laps, but it wasn't without challenge. Braden Hunsaker, Cameron Chandler, they passed him easily. They cleared him. They could have won the race, but Bryce Benton goes to victory lane again. It's another second-place finish for Braden Hunsaker. Another great points day for Cameron Chandler, and this will lock Bryce Benton into the chase, and probably will lock in a couple other drivers as well. Well, that will do it in Michigan. How about that? Post-race interviews coming right up here from Michigan International Speedway. First of all, obviously going to be your winner, Bryce Benton. Bryce, you did it again. How about it? Your 6th career win. Somehow also your 6th win of the season. They've all come this year. A magical season. Just unbelievable. You win it yet again here in Michigan. How did you hold on there? I mean, Cameron Chandler and Braden Hunsaker were trying to put up a fight. They just could not catch you.
Yeah, I gotta give all credit for to this paint scheme because I have not lost a race, at least in this league, yet in this paint scheme. I've literally been undefeated in this paint scheme in any race in this league, which is kind of insane. But in all seriousness, though, it was yeah, it was definitely not. It was kind of like Kentucky. I mean, it was. I saw it obviously try my best. I obviously saw it keep fighting till the end. Obviously, I mean, obviously those are some good drivers that were putting up a fight, and yeah, I think just having the clean air really helped. And yeah, there's a few times that race where I just thought I might have been cooked. Mainly when I didn't pit on that on the second last yellow, I thought I might have been screwed because I was thinking about pitting, but then I wasn't really sure because we weren't technically gonna make it, but then you could have maybe saved. And I just decided to stay out because I don't know, just to keep the track position. They all came in out, and I thought I was screwed. But that final yellow came out, so luck kind of went our way again. We're not gonna win that race without that yellow, so that was nice. But yeah, TCMC just brought a really fast car here tonight. Even better than Kentucky, to be honest, and we were able to just get the win. So yeah, it was honestly just I don't think I could ask for a much better race.
I mean, yeah. So, you guys have just all of a sudden these. I mean, Cameron Chandler has been up there with you guys. Obviously, he's still the points leader, but you have the most wins by 4 now. Only other drivers that have 2 are Sean Rowe, Cameron Chandler, and Matthew White. I mean, like, did you coming into the season expect this?
I mean, not really. I mean, I knew I definitely improved as a driver just over that off season. And yeah, I didn't really expect it though. I mean, I knew I improved, but I didn't really think I improved that much to really be holy cow, winning races like this. But I don't know. I mean, I definitely didn't expect it. I mean, I wasn't sure I was gonna be with the Gen 4. I mean, I was pretty terrible at the Clash. I mean, I wasn't that good, and that really is really concerning. But the Daytona 500 win just kind of, I think that just kind of got my momentum going, and yeah, it's like kind of like Tyler Reddick. I think I've kind of had just a similar thing. I just got the momentum after the Daytona 500 win, and it's been going good. So yeah, definitely a little bit of a surprise. I mean, a lot of this has been luck too. I mean, like my luck last season was not good at all. I mean, there was a lot of times where I probably should have won, but I didn't, and it's just been kind of just the complete opposite. I mean, it's definitely refreshing after how last season went. So yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. What a year it's been for you guys. Now, of course, sit at 6 wins. You are also now locked into the chase after this win. So also, yeah, so also you're in contention for the regular season championship. Only 3 races, of course, remain until the chase this season: Darlington, Watkins Glen, and Daytona. You guys are 43 back on Cameron Chandler. You think it's possible?
I think so. It's not gonna be easy. I mean, especially with Darlington. I mean, I'll obviously be right. I'll be right in the Grand National race there for some Darlington practice, and yeah. I mean, I feel like I'm definitely gonna need it. I mean, it's not at least it's not next gen anymore, so I should be better at Darlington. But I haven't really ever. I don't know if I've ever tried the Gen 4 at Darlington, but Darlington's not a good track for me. I mean, it is in some cars. It like it's in the trucks. It's pretty solid. In Xfinity, it's also pretty solid. But next gen, it's terrible. That's why I sucked so bad the 2 seasons I raced at Darlington. Uh, with the Gen 4, I might be okay. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm a little better with lower horsepower cars at Darlington, so it's gonna be kind of interesting. But yeah, I mean, the Glen, we should be able to probably have a solid performance. I mean, it's a road course, one Sonoma. I mean, Sonoma was a little lucky, but still. And then Daytona, I mean, you just kind of never know. But we did win Daytona 500, so I mean, I don't know. I think it definitely could be possible. It's just not gonna be easy.
All right, Bryce Benson. Well, have fun. Celebrating yet another victory for you guys. It's just racking them up now. Also, you break the heart of Braden Unsicker twice in a row after the Charlotte 600, that thing, and now he finishes second to you yet again.
Same scheme too.
Yeah, I just realized that too. And we will see you next week for the Southern 500 in Darlington.
Yep.
I almost moved Eli Franklin again. Whoopsie. All right. Yeah. All right. Well, coming up next. Not a lot of the drivers are very happy right now for whatever reason, so not a lot of people are going to be interviewed. How about Brandon Pfeiffer? Brandon Pfeiffer, a career best 10th place finish for you guys. You came into this position late. So what was it like there at the end of the race? How did you come up here?
I don't know, pure luck. Uh, we, my car was like really good on the long run, so I just took advantage of everything I could, just find clean air, run the middle. I found a lot of momentum there, and it just carried me.
All right, well, of course, we head to Darlington. I know you haven't been too active in the Cup Series as of late, so what other races can we maybe expect can we maybe expect to see you in?
I'll probably run the super speedways that are coming up. Um, I don't know. I have a busy life, and I may or may not make it very much. So, yeah.
All right, Brandon, well, nice job here on the run tonight, P10, and we'll see you whenever we see you again.
Thank you.
Screwed over Rich Thierry. I was meant to interview him first. Rich Thierry, it's a P5 day here at Michigan today. You ultimately, of course, recovered from that spin you had earlier on. Take me through what happened there, first of all, and then ultimately your recovery to fifth. Oh, those are some inspiring words.
Are you going to go into Darlington next week, Jerry?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, Rich
That's
Thierry,
correct.
I mean, you have at least any words in Spanish? I always love when you do that.
That it was just one of those.
All right,
one
to
of
your
those.
question, Ethan Troller, I just had a skill issue for like the first, for the first time in, I don't know how long. I mean, just lost it there. Um, I hadn't done a race in like 2 weeks and I was lost, so I was clueless. And the only situation where I would have won the race if that caution didn't come out at the end. So, because then I have the pace. So, yeah.
Well, we head to Darlington next week. What kind of throwback can we expect from you?
Man, I don't have any more Minecraft Villager sounds, but I don't know if you're gonna see a throwback. I don't know if I want to race. I don't know if I want to. If I don't want to race. I don't know. Let's hope prom on next Friday goes well, though.
All right. Well, good luck with Cameron Chandler at prom on Friday, and we will see you whenever we see you again. All right. Zanerman. Zanerman, you guys finished 12th today. I guess you took advantage of some other issues with some other drivers, but also you had a pretty decent car. You actually hit the wall pretty decently early on. How did you repair the damage from that and then ultimately recover?
Honestly, Ethan, this race was just not the one I wanted to have tonight. I really didn't appreciate about the fact that the 43 was just, I don't know what he was on tonight. Like the 43 team was just out of control. I mean, they just plowed right me into the wall on the first restart, and well, yeah. Overall, we just repaired everything over time, and yeah, just salvaged the top and like a 12th place finish. So, I mean, I'll take that, I guess.
All right, well, heading to Darlington next week, what kind of throwback can we expect from you if you want to announce anything? You don't have to, obviously, but maybe give us a hint?
Well, all I could say is that it will be a tribute to a fellow one-car driver. That's all I will say.
All right, sounds good, and we will see you next week in the Southern 500 at Darlington.
Yep, see you guys next week, I guess.
All right. Well, that will just about do it tonight. Man, what a race. I mean, that was an interesting one to say the least. Caution flag total 9. That's a lot compared to what we've had lately. All right, Eli and Landon, what are your guys' final thoughts on this one?
It was a very interesting race. A lot of yellows. I was hoping maybe we usually have a couple of early yellows and you get a long green flag run. I think we had 2 decent runs there during the race that were all right. I mean, near the end, I wish we went green flag running there at the end. If we did, but had a good finish. I had enough fuel, and some guys didn't, but that's whatever. But a lot of guys complain about the Gen 4. I don't think it's the Gen 4. Just some of these guys don't know how to race.
And then Landon Johnson?
Nah, I'm good.
Every week. Unbelievable. Well, let's actually real quick run through your NASCAR iRacing FedEx lobby schedule for tomorrow night. Of course, lobbies are back for week 44, Friday night starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So, of course, going to be racing with the ARCA cars at Circuit de Novara. That's the short course. We did this earlier. It was like last year, I think. We did this before, of course, with the ARCA cars. It was a fantastic show. We had a photo finish between Cameron Chandler and Matthew White. We hope for the same in this race coming up tomorrow night. It's going to be the first race. Then this is going to be a wild card. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series trucks at Sonoma, but it's the oval. So I don't know what to expect there. That could be, yeah. I don't really know what to expect there. And then our main event tomorrow night will be the NASCAR O'Reilly Autopart Series cars, or Xfinity, or Grand National, whatever, or Nationwide, or Busch Series, whatever. That series. It's going to be the main event at Kansas Speedway. Of course, real NASCAR is in Kansas, so we're going to Kansas for lobbies for our main event with the O'Reilly Series under the lights. So, well, that will do it for tonight in Michigan. The Southern 500 is next week. It'll be a throwback week as well. You're going to see all the beautiful Grand National and Cup Series throwbacks coming up throughout the week, next week. And we're also going to have our usual fan vote for the throwbacks for both Grand National and Cup to see which is the most popular. Well, that will do it tonight for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series. What a week in Michigan between the Grand National Series thriller last night and a decent race tonight for the Cup Series that saw some good racing and ultimately a lot of strong runners there towards the end. very fun week in Michigan, and certainly enjoyed that one. That one, I would say, didn't disappoint. So, on behalf of all team owners, commentators, drivers, officials, everyone involved in making this league what it is, thank you for tuning in for the NASCAR iRacing FedEx Cup Series at Michigan. We will see you tomorrow night for NASCAR iRacing FedEx Lobbies Week 44, starting at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. But for real racing, we will see you in Darlington next week for the Southern 500 week, and then, of course, Throwback Week as well. Good night in Michigan. We'll see you tomorrow night for Lobbies, and then in Darlington.